WLBT, 3 on your side. WLBT News starts now.
A second person behind bars in connection with the death of an 81-year-old Pearl man. Plus flames on the tarmac, the latest on a British Airways jet that caught fire just before takeoff. And a local man taking the gospel world by storm. We'll hear from him.
And I'm giving you a live view outside over downtown Jackson from the Alpha Insurance Skycam. What I'm tracking today, temperatures that are going to be feeling pretty hot and sticky, highs in the mid-90s. We have a higher rain chance tomorrow and Friday, and then finally some relief. I'll have full details in the full forecast coming up in a few minutes.
At this hour, 2 people are behind bars in connection with the murder of a businessman from Pearl.
The second suspect in the case, 21-year-old Walter Lee Young, turned himself in to authorities yesterday. The body of Lee Kendrick was found last week inside an abandoned apartment in Jackson. He had been shot once in the head. Young now faces charges of capital murder and auto theft. Early Tuesday morning, 24-year-old Lauren Shell made her first court appearance in the case. Investigators have not told us what the relationship is between Shell and Young or how they got the 81-year-old to the Jackson apartment. And for the very latest on this developing story, you can always go to our website, msnewsnow.com.
Meanwhile, authorities are investigating another shooting in Jackson. Police spokeswoman Calendula Green tells us a man was shot in the leg around 8:30 last night at Poole Street and Terry Road in South Jackson. A woman who lives nearby says shootings are common in that area, and every time it happens, she calls police.
They never came. I know somebody at the body shop called. Cops still didn't come. I called them again. They didn't come. So last night I didn't bother to call.
The victim was taken to a Jackson hospital. There's no word on his name or condition. We're trying to find out what caused the shooting and if there were any arrests. Happening now, Moss Point police are searching for this man. His name is Roderick Murray.
Officials are stressing that he is not a suspect, but he is wanted for questioning in connection with the deadly shooting. An Army soldier and father died in the shooting. This morning, we're hearing from another injured victim about the violent brawl.
I know a lot of people mad. I don't want no retaliation and nothing behind it. I pray I don't want nothing to happen after that and having to look at his family and my family and stuff. You know, there's a lot of hearts broken behind it.
That shooting took the life of 24-year-old Darnell Bolton. His friend you just heard from says they were hanging out Sunday when they stopped at the car wash to see a friend. They got into an argument with some other men, which led to gunfire. Moss Point police say the other shooting victim, Desmond Thompson, is in critical condition and has been relocated to a hospital in Jackson. New from overnight, 3 people are dead in a triple homicide in Kansas City, and a young child is among them. We get straight to Cheryl Lassiter for more. Cheryl.
Joy, Kansas City, Missouri's mayor even showed up to the scene overnight. What you're looking at here in this video is friends gathering near that house, embracing simply in utter shock. We've learned in the alert center that it's 2 adults and 1 child. That child thought to be a 1-year-old. Police say a 16-year-old came home and found the bodies of his sister, her boyfriend, and the toddler inside the home. One neighbor says he heard the gunshots.
And I thought it was a good friend of mine that lived down the street, which it wasn't, thank goodness, but it was right behind my house, and it's young kids, as what we're hearing, and it just breaks my heart.
Police don't plan to release any further information until they're done interviewing family members, and we will keep you posted. That's the latest from the Alert Center.
Cheryl, thanks so much. Officials are trying to determine what caused a British Airways jet engine to erupt into flames during takeoff in Las Vegas yesterday.
No one was seriously hurt, but it was a powerful test of air travel emergency readiness. Andrew Spencer reports.
Passengers heard a loud thud just before takeoff.
I opened up the cover of my window and just saw flames on the engine.
British Airways Flight 2267, bound for London, never made it off the ground in Las Vegas. The pilot spotting flames and aborting the takeoff. A passenger on another jet recorded this video as he watched the drama unfold.
I saw the left engine of the aircraft kind of engulfed in flames and black smoke kind of just powering up from the aircraft.
As travelers waiting at the gate looked on in horror, crew evacuated the flight.
We just heard the captain say, "This is an emergency, evacuate."
Emergency chutes deployed and passengers slid to the ground.
People were running fast, and it looked like a lot of people came out at once.
Witnesses say emergency crews were on site in about 90 seconds, with larger fire trucks responding shortly after that.
At 4:14, firefighters were at the aircraft dousing the fire and evacuating the passengers.
I don't think anyone was too hurt. I don't know, but yeah, it was pretty scary stuff.
For 3 on Your Side, I'm Andrew Spencer.
Happening today, there will be a Blessing of the Fleet ceremony of the Corps of Engineers mat sinking unit in Vicksburg. It's happening at 10 this morning at the Vicksburg waterfront. The mat sinking unit is a virtual floating city responsible for placing concrete mats along the banks of the Mississippi River to control erosion. The Corps says that's one of the most important aspects of its river stabilization program. A Jackson native is making a name for himself in gospel music.
Yeah, Sunday Best All-Stars winner Dathan Thigpen is back in the capital city after taking the top spot on the BET competition 2 weeks ago. The 34-year-old performed a soul-stirring rendition of Fred Hammond's song Blessed to win gospel's version of American Idol. The Atlanta resident took the most votes of the 4 million cast. 1.4 million voted during the 2014 competition. The JSU grad appeared on season 3 in 2010, but took it all after being called back to appear in the All-Star show.
And this time I made it work for me. And so I wasn't, woe is me, oh man, I didn't make the show. I was, how can I learn from this and continue? And now I won the show.
Indeed he did. Thigpen was awarded a recording contract with Kirk Franklin's label For Your Soul with RCA Records, and he'll begin working on an album to be released next year. He headlines a concert at his alma mater, JSU, on October 25th. And I actually at another event sat right next to Dathan and just randomly was like, oh, you're so cool, you're such a great singer, let's take a selfie. Now I got a selfie with the star.
Better not erase that.
How about that? I'm gonna keep it, it's worth gold, right?
I think we're gonna be hearing more from him.
Absolutely. All right, your time right now at 5:07 and it's 74 degrees in Jackson.
Coming up.
Let's talk about the emails. Okay. What?
Ellen brings up the elephant in the room, what Hillary Clinton had to say, coming up. But first, here's Julia with a check on the forecast.
Hi, good morning, and we're checking in on First Alert Doppler radar, which shows a clear picture as we start our Wednesday morning. No rain to show you. However, we need that rain. We are in drought conditions all across the state of Mississippi. Severe drought in Jackson, where we've had nearly a quarter of an inch of rain that we really should have had about 10 inches over the past 3 months or so. So overall, definitely needing that rain to come on in. And I do have good news for you in the forecast. Stay tuned and I'll let you know when the highest rain percent chances are going to be.